they announced that they're going to do a UFC fight. I gotta say, I'm extremely excited. From what I have seen, people are already complaining, saying it is not even close, but there are currently no American Championship title holders. Now, he came very close in 2021, which was... All right, we're live. What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to the JPD podcast. I'm your host, Jean-Luc Daigle. And if you're new here, this is where I go over everything from sneakers, fashion, pop culture, business, or honestly, whatever else I'm tapped into for the week. Today, we're going to be talking about some news in the good old USA, because for all my viewers out there, we are coming off of a holiday in America known as the 4th of July. That's American Independence Day. And so it's only right that we did a sort of 4th of July holiday special. Now, I know that there's probably going to be somebody out there that's typing away on the keyboard in the comments section, or is going to hit me up on Instagram or something like that saying, Jean-Luc, this is coming out after the 4th of July. Last week's episode should be the 4th of July. Now, for that reason, we're going to be throwing on the blue blockers, because the only sound that I'm hearing on the 4th of July is the sound of freedom. All right. We're talking about bald eagle screeching. All right. That's all we're hearing. No negativity. Before we get into today's topics, I'd like to thank you all for coming for the culture, and I hope you stay for the conversation. So I hope everybody had a fantastic 4th of July. I took the time to spend it with my girlfriend and enjoy some time away from home. Given that, I run a sneaker convention and on top of my normal day job, as well as doing the YouTube stuff, comes a time where, I kind of get a little bit burnt out, kind of get a little exhausted leading up to events. And because of that, the week after, I usually decide to kind of take off and just kind of relax and chill out. And so fortunately enough, I was able to take some time away, like I said, spend it with my girlfriend. We're actually going to be celebrating our 3-year anniversary next week. So there's probably a good chance that the episode will be delayed. Well, it might be, I might drop it either a day earlier, or I might drop it a day or two later, but I will be posting that on my social media. Really is going to come down to when I'm able to record and edit. But like I said, I hope everybody had a great 4th of July weekend. I actually, if you saw last week's episode, you will know that I ended up hitting, totally unexpected, on the Caitlin Clark Kobe 5s. So, as you know, we have to go over our weekly pickups. And obviously, like I said, Caitlin Clark Kobe 5s. Real quick, show you guys the box. As you guys can see, it's coming in that new Kobe box that we've become familiar with the that Mamba print, that black Mamba print with his signature right across the front in gold on the box. Now, these, if you saw my last week's episode, they dropped for, I believe it was $190. And this is Caitlin Clark's first colorway. Well, first, I guess, official colorway as part of the Kobe line, because she is known to be playing in some Kobe's pretty frequently. So this colorway you guys see right here is her signature colorway. It is inspired by the jerseys on the Indiana Fever, the team that she plays on in the WNBA. Pretty cool. You got some nice, some elements that are really similar to the Jordan 3 Rio and the Medellin Sunset colorways for the J Balvin 3s. We got this yellow to orange gradient. You also got the hit on the back here. If that focuses right for you guys. Yeah, you get a little hit here on the back with the Kobe signature. The inside is that yellow color that we're seeing, and the laces, like you guys saw, come in that bright orange, almost solar kind of orange. I went with a size 11 in these. I have yet to try these on. I'm hoping that these do fit. Because if you guys are familiar with any of the new Kobe's that have been coming out, they unfortunately fit a bit snugger than they originally did. And part of that is because the outsoles that are, rather not the outsoles, but the insoles that they've been using are a lot thicker than the original ones when the Kobe 5 originally dropped. So not, well, I shouldn't say just the Kobe 5, but really all Kobe's. They've been thickening up the midsole as part of their Protro line, or rather Protro Remastered series of Kobe's. But nonetheless, it is pretty much as true to familiarity as we have come to know with the Kobe 5. The Kobe 5 Protros, I should say, and really just the Kobe line in general. So, given that these are Caitlin Clark colorway, we do have some other Caitlin Clark Kobe news we'll be talking about in a few minutes. I also managed to hit, and now again, if you guys have been following the podcast and you've been following my main channel, you guys will know that I have had my eyes set on securing a pair of the. Hold on, let me put these down so the noise is not as obnoxious in the mic. Now, if you guys have been following along for the past few episodes, as well as on my main channel, you guys will know that I have been having my eyes set on a pair of the New Balance 2002R protection pack. I managed to, fortunately, secure a pair off of BSTN, which is a European retailer out of Germany. Fortunately, I was able to hit them for retail in my size. Went with a 10.5. I unfortunately do not have them in hand yet. I will, from what I've been seeing on tracking, they should be here by the end of the week. So hopefully within the next episode, when I do recent pickups, I will be able to show you guys them a little bit on camera. Obviously, we will be doing a review, just like we'll be doing a review for the Caitlin Clark Kobe's. Not sure when these episodes will be dropping on my main channel, but just be aware that they will be in the pipeline and to subscribe to my main channel. Let's see. Let's get into the main topics. It's pretty much everything for the recent pickups. So our main topics. In sneaker news, Nike is dropping more Kobe's, which I am so for. I have been having some decent luck lately, it looks like, with Kobe's. I hit on the All-Star 2.0s, like I had talked about in a previous episode. Just hit on the Caitlin Clarks. I've previously hit on the Lakers Kobe 8s that came out, as well as the Masterpiece Kobe 9 highs. Hit on those, as well as the Kobe 9 Low Elite halos. So I've been very fortunate. I've been hitting on a lot of different Kobe drops. So I'm hoping with this upcoming colorway that I will be able to secure it. Let me pull it up here for you guys. So I'm not going to go into too much crazy detail because I did talk about these in detail on my main channel for Rocker Stock upcoming sneaker releases for July of 2025. So be sure to check that out. But really quick, these are a Kobe 6 dressed up in an all bright orange colorway, very similar to like a Grinch 6 or a reverse Grinch 6, very monochromatic in color. These are inspired, or rather, they are to commemorate the WNBA All-Star Weekend, as the WNBA's signature color is this bright orange. These will be dropping on July 18th, and they're going to be for a retail price of $190. So very excited. Hopefully, like I said, I'll be able to hit. In other Kobe news, we have, like I said before, Caitlin Clark has another Kobe colorway dropping. So this colorway is going to be on the Kobe 6, and it comes in like this icy blue gray colorway. There's no official information out yet as to when this will release, as well as a price tag. But if it is anything like recent Kobe 6 releases, we should expect these are going to be coming in a full-size run for a retail price of $190. I'm hoping that these drop very soon. I know there's been some other Kobe 6s and other just Kobe colorways in general that have been teased. both on court by Caitlin Clark as well as within the sneaker reselling community. Some people have been able to get their hands on some early pairs. So, moving on. 2025 is an absolute crazy year for sneakers, as everybody knows and has been seeing. With that, Nike is trying to they're trying to cement themselves back as the number one sneaker brand out there, which generally they are for the most part all the time, but they have lost some considerable market share they've lost some considerable market share over the past couple of years. And like I had said to you guys in the previous, I believe it was in the first episode, we're kind of at a point where we are at like the almost like the mid 2010s for sneaker culture, right? Right before everything pops off and things go crazy for the hypebeast era. Now, one of the shoes that set this off and set this in motion was the Jordan 1 Shattered Backboard. Now, for those that are unfamiliar with the Shattered Backboard Jordan 1, the Shattered Backboard is inspired by Michael Jordan's time in 1986, where, well, I believe it was 1985, 1986, where he had played for a game in Italy, and he notoriously shattered the backboard when dunking the ball. These shoes are inspired by the uniforms that they wore, and some pretty cool details that you're going to see on them. I'm going to pull them up right now. Is they come in this premium tumbled leather, and on the insoles, you guys will see that they have a almost shattered backboard look to them. They essentially designed the shoe's insoles to look as though it was glass breaking from when Jordan, broke the backboard. This shoe was crazy back in the day. It was one that was honestly initially slept on, and the leather quality was just extremely well done, and it pretty much set the standard for Jordan brand releases when it came to leather quality for the better part of the last 10 years, because they were just super soft, super supple. And for some reason, for a general release pair of Jordans, they had like the best quality we had ever seen on a pair of Jordans in years. And this shoe was sought after by many collectors, including myself. Spawned a few other colorways, Shattered Backboard 2.0, which was very similar to a Chicago colorway, as well as a Shattered Backboard 3.0, which was not as well received, but it was very similar to a Bread or a Shadow or a Royal One colorway. I'll throw those colorways up on the screen so that you guys have a better idea of what I'm talking about. The thing is because they were so well revered within the sneaker community and with Jordan collectors, this shoe there's a lot of anticipation, and people are hoping that this is going to have the same quality as beforehand. From what I have seen, people are already complaining, saying it is not even close to what it originally was back in 2015. And honestly, I'm not surprised. A lot of people were hoping that it was going to be this, revampment of the shoe, and it is a retro. It's as true to the original release as possible, but it's coming in more of the newer 85 shape that we've been seeing with the remastered line. The Wings logo is going to be debossed or embossed. I always forget the two, or which one is which there, but it won't have the same Wings logo as we saw in the 2015 pair. The leather quality, although good, is not as soft and supple as we are expecting. And honestly, I don't hate it. I like that it is as close as possible without being a complete one-to-one copy, because therefore it would ruin the value and the significance of what the original Shattered Backboard 1 was. And anybody that really likes the colorway and just wants, a Jordan 1 in the Shattered Backboard colorway, they'll be able to achieve that by locking these down. Resale prices are looking pretty low. They're dropping for a retail price of $185, which is the new price that we're seeing for Jordans. They had bumped it up from 160 a couple years ago up to 170, and then 170 to 175 and up to 180. And now we're seeing 185 as the new standard for Jordan 1 prices, which is unfortunate, but hey, it's inflation for you. Overseas releases have already started occurring, and we're seeing prices drop under $250, which is quite crazy to see, given that this shoe, when the original one that dropped during the height of COVID and just sneaker reselling, this was fetching easily $1,500 at least. And now I think the original one's going for under $6. I've seen under $5, which is absolutely insane to see. But again, if you're looking to acquire a pair of these, now is definitely the time to do so. Another cool Shattered Backboard news, I guess, is Jordan Brand. So Jordan Brand has a NASCAR team, which I'm going to pull this up for you guys. So Michael Jordan's NASCAR team, which is 2311, unveiled a sneaker-inspired paint scheme for the 10th anniversary of the iconic Jordan 1. They dressed up this Toyota Camry NASCAR in a Shattered Backboard inspired livery. Now, this takes inspiration from the box that the new Shattered Backboards are going to be coming in. They're going to be coming in like very similar to the insoles. The box is designed to look like broken glass and the backboard that he shattered. And they did this design all over the NASCAR livery, which not something we have, I should say, not something we're unfamiliar with when it comes to Jordan Brand. They've done multiple colorways in the past, or not colorways, but multiple liveries. I'm thinking sneakers here. Anytime I say colorway, I'm so used to sneakers, but they've done previous liveries on their vehicles. Most notably, I think they did a white cement or black cement type of livery. I believe they've also done an Aqua 8 inspired livery. I could be wrong on that one, but I'll pick out a few different liveries that we've seen online, and I'll throw them up for you guys to be able to see. This vehicle is going to be driven by number 45, Tyler Reddick. So exciting to see this car race around the track. Curious to see if they do any other liveries that are very similar to this, or for other shoes for this season. Hey guys, just interrupting real quick because we're about halfway through the episode. If you guys are enjoying and you're watching and listening on YouTube, do me a favor, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you guys want to stay up to date on all my episodes, you already know you got to hit that notification bell. And if you guys are watching or listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast, be sure to follow the podcast as well as give it a rating. I appreciate it, guys. Let's get back to the episode. Shifting gears into some more sports news. This past weekend marks 1 year since USA men's and women's basketball took home the gold at the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. I'm going to pull it up for you guys right now. For men's basketball, 2024 marked the 5th consecutive gold medal and their 17th gold medal overall out of 20 appearances. For the women's team, this marks their 8th consecutive win since 1996, their 10th gold medal overall out of 13 appearances. No surprise that Team USA absolutely dominated in men's and women's basketball. But as you guys know, got to give them a huge shout out on the 4th of July. In other basketball news, pulling this up for you guys right now, Chris Paul has announced that he plans to leave and officially retire from the NBA after the 2025-2026 NBA season. In a recent interview, after 2 decades of brilliance, this article says Hall of Fame-bound point guard Chris Paul has officially announced that he plans to retire, with this upcoming season being his last. The 12-time All-Star opened up about his future and the emotional decision to end his legendary career after one final campaign. He said at most he's planning to stay a year. He did just finish his 20th season, so it's expected that, given that he is turning 40, that you're coming to that retirement age. It's unsure where he will land. He has, over the past 6 seasons, played on multiple teams. First, he was on OKC. Then he was on Phoenix for a few years, Golden State for a year, and then San Antonio last year. His family is in LA, so it is possible that he could be seen on the Lakers. The Lakers are looking for somebody that's a stabilizing playmaker off the bench. Luka and LeBron have both been linked to Chris Paul recently in the past couple weeks, so we could see something there. But the Lakers aren't the only ones in the mix. The Milwaukee Bucks have waived Damian Lillard and are rumored to be interested in Chris Paul to replace the void point guard spot and give Giannis a veteran floor general to lean on. A floor general to lean on. Where he finishes is up for debate, but he will retire as one of the most accomplished point guards in NBA history. He has a staggering 12 All-Star selections, 4 All-NBA first-team honors, 5 All-NBA second-team nods, and 2 on the third team. He's a 7-time All-Defensive first-team member and twice more on the second team. Over his career of 20 seasons, he's averaged 17 points per game, 4.4 rebounds, 9.2 assists, and 2 steals per game, shooting percentage of 47% from the field and 37% from the three. He's led the league in assists 5 times and in steals 6 times, showcasing his elite two-way dominance. He currently ranks second all-time in both assists and steals, behind only John Stockton, a feat few imagined would have ever been approached in the modern basketball era. Yet, the one thing he is still missing is a championship ring. He came very close in 2021, which was when he was on the Suns, and they played the Milwaukee Bucks in the finals. That was also the same year that my team, the Brooklyn Nets, unfortunately lost to the Bucks, I believe. That was when KD's foot was unfortunately on the three-point line when he took the shot, and so it didn't count as a three. Otherwise, we would have probably seen the Nets going into the finals. But back to Chris Paul, unsure of where he's going to land up. Unsure of where he's going to land and end up, but maybe or hopefully for his sake, he's able to secure a championship ring before the end of his career. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. In other sports news, my favorite topic we're going to be covering today is going to be Trump announcing that there will be a UFC fight at the White House next year to celebrate America's upcoming 250th birthday. For those that are unaware, 2026 marks the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. Pulling up this article here for you guys. President Donald Trump announced last Thursday that a UFC fight will take place at the White House next year to celebrate America's upcoming 250th birthday. He claimed every one of our national parks, battlefields, and historic sites are going to have special events in honor of America 250, and I even think we're going to have a UFC fight. This was at the Iowa State Fairgrounds, for anyone wondering when or where this happened. Now, this says here, he says, we're going to build a little one-of-kind event. It's going to be a championship fight, full fight, 20,000 to 25,000 people. And I gotta say, I'm extremely excited for this. The only thing that we have as a problem here is that they announced that they're going to do a UFC fight for America 250, but there are currently no American championship title holders. Now, this is significant because Jon Jones has officially announced that he has re-entered the testing pool. Now, if you follow UFC, if you don't follow UFC, we're going to go over this. Jon Jones is, well, I guess was the undisputed heavyweight champion. He came back in last year in 2024 to reclaim the heavyweight title after having, I guess you could say, retired for a couple years. He ended up fighting Stipe Miocic, and it was with mixed reviews. It was cool to see him come back, but Stipe Miocic was coming off of 3 years having not fought. He's older, and the interim champ, interim heavyweight champ, I should say, was Tommy Aspinall. And the whole thing with Jon Jones is that everybody wants him to fight Tommy Aspinall because when he vacated the title, when Jon Jones vacated the heavyweight title, Tommy Aspinall was named interim champion, and it would only make sense that you would have the number one contender fight the interim champ to declare the undisputed champion. However, that is not what they ended up doing in the UFC. And so for some time, for up until a few months ago, up until a couple weeks ago, Jon Jones was the current heavyweight title holder, and Tommy Aspinall was still the interim heavyweight title holder. Jon Jones, after anticipation of him, finally agreeing to a fight against Tommy Aspinall, decided he was going to retire, and it lasted a good 14 days before he officially announced over the weekend that he is returning and joining the testing pool. He did vacate his title, obviously, since he retired, and Tommy Aspinall was named the current UFC heavyweight champion. Now, one could speculate that because he is now joining back in the pool, the testing pool, that this is in response to Donald Trump announcing that there will be a UFC fight for America 250. He is one of the only American champion fighters currently out there. And I gotta say, I'm hoping that that's the fight, because it not only was the Jon Jones Tommy Aspinall fight highly anticipated and arguably going to be the biggest UFC fight in history, just the fact that they are, or not that they are, but they could potentially be doing it on the White House lawn for America 250 would just make it the biggest fight and biggest combat sports event in history. So nothing is obviously official yet. Nothing's confirmed yet that this is the reason, but Jon Jones has been seen recently on Twitter saying that is on at 4:44 p.m. on July 4th, pulling this tweet up for you guys. Fighting at the White House ? With the two little eyes emoji. So who knows? Seems that that this is what everyone is hoping for and expecting. And honestly, if they don't make this fight happen, if this is not the fight, I don't know what they could possibly have, but it will definitely not be as big as Jon Jones versus Tommy Aspinall. So that's going to do it for sports news. And other news, pop culture wise, the new F1 movie dropped. That's Brad Pitt's new IMAX movie. I have yet to see it, but the synopsis is that Brad Pitt's character returns to F1 after a 30-year absence to save his former teammates' underdog team from collapse. It had a $200 to $300 million budget, grossed over the weekend $293.6 million at the box office. Not bad for a holiday weekend release, but not fantastic. We'll see how it does in the next couple of weeks. I enjoy it. Or rather, I'm going to enjoy it because it is F1 related. And for those that follow F1, or for those that don't, F1 has become much larger in the US over the past couple of years. Most notably, they have their upcoming, they just had their race in Miami just a couple months ago. They have an upcoming one in November, I believe it is, for F1 Las Vegas. So very exciting there, and excited to see what happens within the sport. But other than that, guys, I don't have anything else. I know this is a little bit shorter than the past couple episodes, but just wanted to do a quick little 4th of July special, go over some news for you guys, USA related. But with that being said, guys, I appreciate you for tapping in for this episode. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Jon Jones versus Tommy Aspinall potential main event for UFC America 250. You could hit me up on IG at the JPD podcast or on my personal Instagram at Jean-Luc Paul Daigle. If you enjoyed this episode, you guys already know, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure that you guys are hitting that notification bell so that you stay up to date on all the episodes that are dropping. I try to drop an episode every Monday, or at least early in the week. If you guys are watching or listening on Apple Podcast or Spotify, be sure to follow as well as give it a rating. Helps support the podcast and helps push it up higher within the charts. As you guys know, we're going to have more to discuss next week. Be sure to check out my videos on my other channel at Jean-Luc Paul Daigle, specifically my review of the Leche Blue Nike Zoom Field Jacks that I talked about a bit in the past podcast episode. I'm hoping to drop that episode later this week or potentially early next week. So be sure to subscribe to the main channel and hit the notification bell again to stay up to date. This was the JPD podcast. Thank you guys for coming for the culture, and I'll catch you guys in the next conversation.
It's time to honor MLK and Malik Shabazz. Paradox teaches class while we speak to reach the mass. Yeah, shame on those who think we need to delete the past. We need to educate so our kids forge a better path. If the future is a glass, mine is half full. I had to leave the internet because I can't stand bull. And there's no need for profanity when conversing candidly. Facts are just that. Follow the cure for insanity.